So my name is Zachary. This is my colleague Alice. As our host mentioned, we're both in environment and business, and our product or our service is WeCrow. And this is looking to address the problem of a increasing ecological footprint from an individual perspective, but then also from an organizational perspective. So WeCrow consists of both micro and macro, which I'll explain in a little bit later, but Alice will explain the market.
So WeCrow will be distributed through a web-based application and a smartphone app. Both of these platforms have seen a significant increase in usage and will only increase in the future. Furthermore, WeCrow will be visible on social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest to strengthen user engagement and retention. The green solution is going mobile, accessible at a global scale, managed easily and updated in real time.
Okay, so as I mentioned a little bit earlier, WeCrow consists of two different applications. One is micro, where the individual will use through either a smartphone like the iPhone or through a web-based service, and the micro application will encompass a suite of tools that will help the individual reduce their water use, energy use, carbon emissions from the travel pollution. So for a quick example, the micro app would include like a travel calculator, which would use like emission factors for their vehicle, the type of fuel, the distance traveled, the year of their car, and then it would tell you how much carbon and the nitrous oxide and methane and the rest of the Toyota greenhouse gases are being released from your transportation, and it'll show you what changes you can make, how you can make them, and then the cost of it. And also, it'll show you the impact of your carbon emissions if you switch to say, a EV vehicle, or if you switch to walking to the grocery store as opposed to driving.
And next is the macro solution, which is a customized service assisting an organization in identifying, assessing, and mitigating its overall environmental impact by empowering employees. Macro will illustrate the corporate sustainability vision and goals, update employees on the corporate performance and progress, and track individual improvements against personal pledges. Macro helps organizations efficiently attain the data relevant for corporate social responsibility, reporting, and project planning.
So, in a general sense, how it works is that the user will sign in, log in and all that, and then they will calculate their baseline. So for 1 week, they will try and log in all their activities, and that will be the baseline as for the ecological footprint. And then from there on in, each action will be calculated, and it will be able to assess the reduction in regards to the ecological footprint. And this can be done for both micro and macro. And but basically what it's trying to show is different ways of reducing your ecological footprint while also realizing savings. So, for example, like using less paper in the office. In the case of macro, you use less paper, you buy less paper, you'll save more money.
So WeCrow recognizes the existing market of green apps and plans to collaborate with the expertise and resources from the excellent reviewed apps such as Good Guide. Furthermore, WeCrow will develop apps with more credible organizations such as the Marine Stewardship Council on their Sustainable Seafood Finder. And in the end, it's to deliver a cost-effective and efficient common solution. Ultimately, WeCrow delivers two applications that can evolve with the users and the market. WeCrow presents a solution that is ecosystem-minded, integrative, web local, globally sensitive, and sustainable design.
Any comments, questions?
Have you built any of this?
Have I I've only made this, but there are various other applications, and there's databases which do something very similar. So creating a service would be just stepping on their shoulders and just combining it all.
Right, so like for example, the environmental working group, they have a cosmetic database to show, to rank like cosmetics on the toxins in products. And basically it's just enhancing their user interface so it's actually smartphone friendly.
Okay.
That's one thing.
So it calculates the ecological footprint for different types of aspects of an individual or business. Does it give a cost savings?
Well, yeah, because so for example, like you get like
Does it actually include, like this is your footprint, but if you do this something else, what's the cost associated
yes,
with that or reduction?
in terms of like their water savings tool, you could just simply input how much you're paying for water on a quantity basis, and then as your water decreases, it's just a matter of like doing the calculation, and it'll be able to show your reduction in water, which is A+, and then your increase in savings, which is also A+, thus making it a win-win.
Right, and it's like a forecast, so it's as you commit to continuing the actions that you committed to, it would forecast like how much savings you would advance.
Yes.
I think you've got a really big vision. And my gut check would be, I think you've got such a big vision and trying to do too many things, it would take a long time to bring to market. So what I would suggest, if you really want to work with it, is choose a small area, demonstrate that, in fact, the information is out there, so you don't actually have to go and collect it, but you can aggregate it, put it through a small portal, see if people really want to use it, and then you could go larger. But at the moment, I think you've got such a big vision that it's like an iceberg. The top looks great, but it's the 9/10 under the surface that's going to be the challenge.
Yeah, that was one of our main concerns. Like, it is a large project, but that's partially because we're trying to attack the problem from both the individual standpoint, but also from the organizational standpoint. So from the micro and the macro perspective, but yeah, like maybe developing one of the sites first, and then if it's successful, developing the secondary as a supplementary service.
Or working together with, if you were to do the macro and work with somebody like who's doing the SME project, that bringing pieces together. I mean, I love how big you're thinking. It's a big thing to bring to market.
I like the naming, very clever, and you should trademark that.